Hello guys, welcome back. So we had our original video up for you guys and we had it processing for hours, and for the mysterious reasons only known to YouTube, they told us this check's running. For a while there, I was stepping around checks running and nothing bad was happening and they were cool with it, and then I got a warning email that you better go drink your coffee. They actually tell you to go drink coffee. And I'm like, did you just sexistly mansplain something to me and pat me on the head and tell me to go drink coffee? But, it's their platform, it's their rules. I might think the rules are wrong and they need to fix their damn equipment. But, there's nothing I can do. If I want to still have a channel, I can either go, okay, they have clearly decided this video isn't getting published today, or I can keep fighting the machine until they ban me and they say for repeated violations we're banning you. I hate that. I hate when I can't bring you guys, the content I want to bring you because you two had a problem with it. And instead of telling me like within a reasonable amount of time, like 10 or 15 minutes, I'd be like, okay, you don't like this content because of that thing I said, could we just edit this out or something? They're not compromising with us. They're just, it stays in edit limbo forever until you give up and you delete the content. And you're like, look, YouTube, you're the same people who want me to have content every day. Why are you making it so hard? It's like telling someone to bring a chair into your house, but standing in the doorway and blocking the door, and then you're pissed off at them that they're not bringing the chair in, and they're like, I am trying to do what you want. Why are you not helping me on this? So YouTube right now is working against all YouTubers, at least the small ones. Big people, they get instant, they get instant approval. They're trusted, which is why some of them become so problematic. They get instant approval of everything they do. Where, smaller channels, we're trying to bring you guys fresh content, and they're like, no, you can't do this. And I'm like waiting around. I watched the video like 5 or 6 times, and it was a 20-minute video. And I'm like, what did I say? I really didn't even swear in the video, which was remarkable. Me going on for 20 minutes, I think I swore twice. And it wasn't bad. It was actually a good message. It was a message about, here come, because the trailer came out, here come all the new Lokeans, get ready. And it wasn't like making fun of them or anything. It was like, look, these people don't know any better because they saw something bright and shiny from Disney. It's exciting. I know you want to kill them, but please don't. So it was like an affirming message. It was like, we were all that damn annoying, it's just our comeuppance that we now have to deal with it in our turn. And the best thing you can do is, if you really care about Loki, you really care about the lore, is to point them in the right direction and say, hey, we get you're excited, and yeah, Tom Hiddleston, yay, Tom Hiddleston, but that isn't the lore. Here's the lore over here. And a lot of people won't read it because it's blowing. Well, then tell them to go watch Dr. Jackson Crawford, or, at least find like the closest to the lore for you interpretation of Loki in, like a comic, cartoon, or something, and show them that. The term comic book Lokean is a bad term because it's an insult, because at one time, long ago, before there was an internet, yes, this time existed, I can give some cheers. All people had, if you didn't have the lore, because let's admit it, the lore in itself is not attractive to a lot of people. It's just not. We're comic books, and the way they write these comic books is they will say Loki is the Norse god of mischief, or, Thor or something. They make it sound believable because you're supposed to get sucked into this universe and enjoy it and totally think that Thor beat up 2 goat gods to get his goats. It's not where Thor got. And so people would be coming into, heathenry, paganism, whatever, back in the day, with this really confused idea that Thor fought these goat gods to get his goats, and Loki was trapped in a tree, and he has a love of Hostess cupcakes. And I'm getting cheering. And he wears this pointy helmet with these reindeer antlers on it. And it's like, no, none of this stuff happened. But people didn't know any better, they weren't stupid or anything. They were, same intelligence as everybody else, if not above. But There's nothing in the way that these comics are portrayed. There's no disclaimer before every Marvel comic, at least the last ones I've seen, that say, you know, this is not Norse lore, go read the lore. They really don't even, I think of us seriously. It was just, this is the writer, this is the artist, this is who came up with these characters, whatever. And you can read that, is it still a masthead in a comic book? Read that in the masthead. And, there's nothing wrong with having to learn. There's nothing wrong with having to learn that, oh yeah, Thor didn't fight two goat gods to get his goat and get his goats. And Loki isn't a space alien, and Asgard doesn't have, kind of Star Wars style fleet of ships, and, there's not all this stuff. We really don't know what the, Asgard looks like. So, they could have, ships far beyond what we have in science fiction for, hold on, I think my mail came. Yep, Mel, sorry about that. But that's not in the lore. It could be a reality in Asgard. Right this second, there could be spaceships and teleportation devices and everything else. You could have a UPG of something like that, but it's not. It's not in the lore. And some people go, you have to understand, because this is a faith thing or a spirituality thing, however you feel, whatever floats your boat, man. But some people go right up to the edge of the lore, and that's it. If the lore was written in the time of Vikings, that's it. That's the most technology the gods are ever going to have, and they're dead serious about this. So in case you've ever wondered why does it seem like heathens or pagans are so in love with swords and battle axes and all that? That's just the technology of the time. Now, had you been able to give the average Viking a space laser and explain to them how it works, I think they would have taken space lasers and F-14s and, carpet bombing and all that. I think it would have taken whatever they could have got to give them the edge. And can you imagine one Viking with a tank? Can you imagine the fun they would have had and the raids they would have went on? I think our ancestors, if you totally could have went back in time and handed them, modern weaponry, they would have used it. Thankfully, they didn't have it, or there'd be even less of us than there are today. But can you imagine if they'd had it? But that's why, you'll see a lot of people get angry, and a lot of people do get, very, they take the Lord dead serious, and it's like a gospel to them. So the idea that there would be anything modern in, Valhalla or anywhere else, like computers or motorcycles or the internet or video games or something, very angry. There are people that will dead serious say, don't offer the gods any modern processed food. And I'm like, poor baby Loki. Can you imagine Loki without fast food or Pop-Tarts? He would just die. He would be, like he does a little fox bit with me. Can you imagine a little fox on your counter like, need candy? Sorry, dude, it's not natural. Fuck natural, I'm dying, get me candy. So, that would be Loki. And I've never had the gods turn their nose up at anything from soda to coffee to anything else. But some people, they really draw the line. If it wasn't available historically in the old times, they don't give it to the gods. And they're not doing that to be bad, but they're doing that because they truly believe something's going to go wrong or the gods are going to get angry if you offer them anything modern. Where I'm like, I'm sorry, this is what I have. You can either take it or leave it. I'm not doing this to be rude to you. I'm not doing this to be mean to you, but I don't have the money to send to Scandinavia to get you, whatever. You get what we have here. We have coffee or tea. What do you want? And that sounds rude to some people, but to me, the gods have adapted with modern times. I've never had a god yet that would keep away from Pop-Tarts, and I'm like, this isn't even food technically. I eat it because I enjoy it, but it's not even food technically. And they still want it, so... One second, guys. Whew, sorry, I got allergies because, it's spring has sprung and everything out there. I stuck my head out the door. I should not do that while I'm filming. Anyhow, the whole video that they won't let me show you was about, people are going to be coming in and they're going to be excited. And the best we can do is point them to the lore. The ones that actually want to read the lore and actually work with actual Loki are going to do that. The ones that just want to worship Tom Hiddleston or Marvel Loki literally are going to go off and do that. And you know what? You're not going to be able to stop them. Let them go. Let them go. Because you're not going to be able to stop them. It would be like if Christians fell in love with Superbook Jesus and absolutely insisted that they had a vision of Jesus with this robot and two children. They were traveling through space and time like Doctor Who. Let them have it. Let them have it. That's their truth. Let them have it. If it ends up not working out for them, then they can, readjust and reevaluate. But, let them have it. You're always going to run into people that will swear up, down, and sideways that Tom Hiddleston is, Loki on Earth. And you try to explain that we don't have avatars in our faith, but, they're dead set that is Loki. And there are people that are dead set that Marvel Loki is a true representation of Loki. As long as they're not forcing you to join, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. We have Marvel stuff. We have Marvel stuff behind us, but I don't see Marvel Loki as Loki. I see him as a character inspired vaguely, kind of, he has the same name as Loki. Basically, at the end of the day, if you compare Lore Loki to Marvel Loki, they have the same name, and that's about it. That's about it. That's about all they have in common. Dr. Jackson Crawford does great videos and will tell you if you want that trickster, sexy, mystical, fuck with you with magic character, you actually want the old man. You want Odin. If you want that guy that's going to come into your life and, sex you up and everything, you're actually looking for Odin is who you're looking for. That was not Loki behavior in the lore. He was sexually active. Oh dear, he was sexually active, but Odin was about finding dynasties and siring as many babies as possible. He was much more sexually active in that way towards the fantasy way most people are having towards Tom Hiddleston way. Where Loki was like, I gotta keep this wall from being built. See you guys. And he was sexually active. And yes, she understands. She gets it different ways. He was sexually active as a mayor, and he was. If you would say logically, to get a puppy, you have two wolves. He was sexually active as a wolf and a serpent at one point, and it's like, you do you, man, you Loki. So I go, yeah. And Loki's sexuality is very different, than Marvel Loki, and people see that and they're not okay with it. I put a thing up on my and I know why they didn't monetize the first attempt. I put a thing up on my Loki board about advice from Loki. I put quotes around it about there's this kid goes to see the Marvel movie, and then he goes home and he reads the lore, and he goes to his dad. He goes, there's a lot more tying his balls to a goat's beard in the lore than there was in the movie. And the dad's just like, huh, Hollywood's like that. And Hollywood is like that. You're not going to see that in the movies. You're not. You're going to see implications of something else, but you're not going to see that in the movies, because Loki's not a space alien in the lore. He's a god, but they're coming from the idea that these aren't real gods. We can just use them creatively. And you're going to encounter that too. You're going to encounter, Christians see these movies and then they get all hot and bothered that people actually, not all Christians, some are fine, but they're going to get all hot and bothered that there are people that actually legitimately worship these gods, and because they're ignorant and they've only seen the movies or they've only read a comic book, they assume that's what we're worshiping. And we're like, nah. Nah, if you actually read the lore, you'd know what we're worshiping, and you'd have no idea why we're worshiping him either. But he wandered in, we fed him, and now here he is. And I go, yeah. And I go, wait, what? And it's like a lot of Lokeans worship Loki because he just won't go away. Every so often, we try to put him outside on the porch and go run. Go run, go play, because he's a lot some days. Go play, Loki. Go bother the neighbors. And he comes back, and we're like, you don't have to be my god. Nah, I like it here. So, we worship Loki because he won't go away. I love him, you know that, Lokean for life. But we worship Loki because he won't go away. He found us and he ain't going. So that's why we worship Loki. True story. So I hope they let me publish this one. I don't know. I'm really mad at YouTube. I actually gave myself a stress migraine from here all the way to the back of my head when that one published. Because I'm like, God damn it. You know, I was supposed to get that published and then make a second video. This is supposed to be a second totally different video for you guys, and then maybe go play a video game or something. But I'm like, God damn it, YouTube. You're the people telling me publish multiple times a day, but then you eat up 2, 3 hours not letting me publish a video. Get the hell out of the way, Grandma. So I go, ooh. So in the mood. So, he's like, she's back. So if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later. Bye bye.